absolutely thrilled to be speaking this month about the mystery, because I just love the mystery and magic. I just love that. And we live in a gigantic mystery. We're working on it. We're working to understand it and to know it. But we live in such a mystery. You know, this whole universe is like, where did it come from? How did this happen? We don't know. We never will know. And the universe delivers everything. Look what it's delivering. I mean, we're only like a grain of sand in the universe, this planet of ours. And yet look at the wonder of this planet. We're so blessed. Of course, we're very blessed to be here in Alameda in the Bay Area. It's really heaven on earth here. So we have this great mystery around us all the time. And we strive to be, well, we already are part of it, but we strive to know it, to engage it, to live from it. So, you know, it's happening all the time. That's what medicine is doing. Everybody in medicine are working to, what does it take to heal somebody? What does it take to unravel the mysteries of the body? Constant research going on. The body is its own mystery. Wonderful, glorious, miraculous, and a mystery at the same time. So knowable to a certain extent, yet mysterious on the other hand. And so is the living of life, like electricity. Now, I know zip about electricity. I can't get it, and I'm not even going to try. But you know, you can store electricity. It's invisible, and yet you can store it, huh? And there's ways of creating it, like the way we're used to, however that is, with wires and stuff. And then there's wind, and then there's solar. So we're investigating all of these different aspects of how life works and getting to know the mystery in different ways. So there's all kinds of research going on, particularly now with climate change. There are people inventing all kinds of ways of having life here on planet Earth, this part of life, this stuff that we call real. All of this is what people are working on day in and day out, and that calls to them, it pulls them forward to work on this, that, or the other thing. And we're all doing it in our own ways. We all have our own longings. We all have our own discontents that are sacred signals to move forward in some direction, whatever that direction is, and it's different for each one of us. And then there are, so here at the Home of Truth and Science of Mind and all religions and spiritual philosophies are all engaged in the knowing of God or spirit or the divine. So we're today, particularly as we here live our lives, I would imagine you are. I'm always in that myself. Kind of every moment I'm always doing a bit of wondering about this, that, or the other thing. I mean, simple little things about how to have that relationship work, or how to have this happen, or, you know, things like getting a parking spot when you want it. How do you do that? I mean, I know what I do, but that doesn't mean it's like the law. But I say in advance, I'm coming, you can leave now. And they often do. As a matter of fact, the other day, took Judy to the hospital for a doctor appointment, and there were no parking spots. I was on the phone with my husband and I said, honey, I can't talk long. I'm looking for a parking spot. So would you please help me? He says, there'll be one in a moment. He no sooner said that than there was a parking spot. He said, okay, I got my job done. See you later. You know, so I kind of have this thing about parking spots and my intention and my creativity going when it comes to that. Not with everything, but I definitely have it going with parking spots. So the question then becomes, now that's what I call stuff on planet Earth. But then the question becomes, how do I engage in the mystery or engage with spirit or the divine intelligence that has this planet be? To me, that's way more important than the stuff here on planet Earth. In fact, years ago, in some trainings that I did, one of the things I learned was that life here on planet, now this may boggle your mind, so be prepared, that life here on planet Earth is empty and meaningless. And it's empty and meaningless that it's empty and meaningless. That takes some work to get that. So in other words, all of this This stuff here, this concrete stuff we call concrete, this reality has no real meaning. The only meaning it has is whatever meaning we put on it. By itself, it's meaningless. And it's kind of empty. It's just like a movie, but we're in the movie. But it doesn't mean anything that it doesn't mean it's good, doesn't mean it's bad, that it has no meaning. And that it has no meaning and that it's empty doesn't matter. Now, when you really get that, you live in this place of total ease, peace, and freedom. It is like, oh yeah, oh cool. So that leads me into one of the principles I wanted to talk to you about today, because I want to bring up 3 principles that allow us, when you do them, you are engaging the mystery. So the first one is to trust the universe. Now we have, as human beings, we have a problem with that. We don't trust the universe. We think things should be different than the way that they are. But really, you know what? They are the way that they are. When you have a flat tire, you can complain and moan about having a flat tire, but never mind, you still have a flat tire. So when you trust the universe, that means you're allowing that it's benevolent. It's on your side. It has been, is, and always will be on your side. And if you look at your life and how things have unfolded, there were moments where you were sure this was the end of it. Things were so awful, you couldn't get out of bed, or, you were headed to, I don't know, bankruptcy or go to jail. I mean, you were so unhealthy, this was going to be the end of things, and yet here you are. So the universe is on your side. It's here for you. It wants only the best. It's always giving, and it's always allowing, and it's only love. So that matches up for me with this empty and meaningless, because everything is the way that it should be. It's in divine order. Now, it doesn't seem like it when stuff like happens in Monterey Park. That's a challenge for us to get over. It doesn't mean that we should condone stuff like that. No. But if we're going to take some action about it, doing what we did today, for instance, praying on behalf of those people, even on behalf of the shooter, is where we come from about the actions we take. So we can come from that it is the way that it is and take appropriate action. Doesn't mean don't take action. Doesn't mean it's all okay. It's all really wonderful. No, but it is the way that it is, and take our judgment out of it. Take our point of view out of it. Our point of view is simply that. It is nothing more than a point of view, and everybody's got one. We've got thousands, actually. So when you can do that, my experience is you just relax into life. Relax into all of this, knowing that it's all the way it should be. Like the rain came, we needed the rain. It provided our state in particular with something sorely needed. That caused other problems. But everything is great, and then it causes problems. We get too much sun, then we have a drought. But if you notice, see, one way of looking at it is notice nature. Nature works. Nature doesn't complain about the rain or the sun. It just is. And this is what it's doing one day, and this is what it's doing another day. That's the same with us. That's what's happening with us. One day it's what we call a good day. Another day it's bad. One day we have a flat tire. The next day we don't. One day we have 2 cars not working, but we have feet. So, or we have some other mode of transportation. We have Lyft, we have buses, we have whatever. There's ways of accomplishing life, even with things the way that they are. And the only thing that gets in the way, that keeps the thing that keeps the mystery, the wonder of the mystery from being alive in us, is when we go, rats, why is this happening to me? Poor me. This is awful. And then we rail sometimes to others, sometimes just to ourselves. We make it wrong. The way that it is wrong. It's not wrong. It just is. So you can trust the universe. And I'm not saying that trusting the universe is like a slam dunk, because it takes work on our part. We've been schooled into thinking certain ways, and our thoughts get in the way of us experiencing the wonder of the mystery. That's what I call crimping the hose. We got this flow going. We are like a hose, and the mystery and spirit and energy is always with us, always flowing. And when we complain, judge ourselves or anyone else, we are crimping that hose. So the light, the wonder, the joy is missing. It's gotten very tiny and life feels awful. So the way to uncrimp that is to trust the universe. That's one thing. Excuse me. Second principle is to live from your soul. Now, what do I mean by that? That means that to live from the inside out, to live trusting your inner guidance instead of doing. Now, I know we've all been there when we were teenagers and much younger. It was all about what people thought. I got to have this car, or I have to have these clothes, or I have to have this haircut, or I have to weigh this much, I have to all these other things because of because what my parents said or what people will think, blah, blah, blah. Now, of course, that none of that has anything to do with how I live anymore. Part of it's because I'm old enough to not care. Too bad now. This is it. But the other part is that it's more because I've done enough work to be inner directed, not outer directed. Live from the inside out. Trust your inner guidance. Get to know. That is the mystery speaking to you. You want to know the mystery? You want to engage with it? You want to feel it? You want to experience it? Get to know your inner voice. It sounds the way it does for you. It doesn't sound the same for me. And when somebody calls, there are people who call you on the phone, you pick up the phone. These days, yes, we have caller ID, but sometimes you can't tell because it doesn't say on your phone. And you pick it up and they say, "Hi, Rita." I know instantly who it is. I know that that's Sally. I can tell instantly. Same with you. You can tell by people's voices. Well, you can tell Spirit's voice as well. If you cannot tell today, get to know him or her, because they are speaking to you. The mystery is speaking to you at every moment. So you can get to know that voice. That requires some meditation. It really does require some stillness. Sometimes you can be still out in nature. Being here helps you be still. Meditating helps you be still. Whatever helps you, maybe listening to just the right music helps you get in your heart and calm down and be still and hear that voice. And it's speaking to you all the time, all the time. Sometimes it's just in body sensations. Sometimes it's in words. Sometimes it actually does speak out here sometimes with, I've done this where I remember once I was in Ireland and we were swimming with this dolphin that was in a bay. And so, I had on this wetsuit and I'm in the water and no dolphin. I'm like, rah. So I get out of the water and I'm standing on the edge of the boat and I say, "Give me a sign as to whether I should get back in the water." I'm not kidding you, right in front of me, this gorgeous Irishman comes out of his dinghy and he gets on the boat and he looks at me, he says, "Go back in the water. Fungi is coming." How more obvious is that? How's that for a sign right there in your face, right? So I did. And sure enough, the dolphin came. It was fabulous. So Spirit is speaking to you at all times. Use your inner guides. That's what I've learned. That's why I asked, because I learned to use my inner guidance, which is what I was told to do. Ask. So I asked, and ta-da, I got my answer and I got the swim I wanted, which was enormously beautiful and fun. And then the third principle that I want to, now there are a lot more principles than these, but I'm just speaking about 3 of them today. The other one is to lead with your heart. Now, what I mean by that is express your heart into life instead of your judgments. So that takes forgiveness of yourself and others. And just a reminder, and I know you know this, forgiveness is not about the other person. It's only about you. It's you letting go of whatever you've got going on with the other person so that you can be at peace. And guess what happens? You connect with Spirit then. You connect with the mystery. When you're at peace, when you're in your heart, you're connected to the mystery. You engage it and let it shine through you. So forgiveness is key to all of life, which also then moves you into compassion, which is another important aspect of leading with your heart. Compassion is understanding that the other person over there doing their whatever the heck they're doing is a function of their history and what's going on with them. And if you were in their shoes, you'd probably be doing the same thing. I'll give you an example. It's a story I heard a while ago. Was the man on a train, and he's kind of sitting in the back of the train. He had 3 kids, and they're just running up and down the aisle, and all the adults on the train are like, what is this? Doesn't this guy know what he's doing? This is disgusting. These kids are making so much noise. So somebody goes back to him and says, your kids are making one heck of a lot of noise here on the train. I wish you'd do something about it. He said, yeah, I wish I would too. I wish I knew what to do, but they just lost their mother and I just lost my wife. So I really don't know what to do, and neither do they. And instantly it was all okay. So we don't often do that when we see somebody doing a behavior we cannot stand. We don't often stop and consider, oh, something's happening over there with that person that we're unaware of, and it's impacting their thinking and their behavior. So they're coming across as nasty or belligerent or whatever, that there's something driving that is impacting us. But if we're leading with our heart, we can open our heart and have some compassion. We don't know what's going on, but something's going on. And we can have compassion for that and forgive them in that moment for being rude to me. Okay, all right. Okay, it's only rude. And then you can go back to it's empty and meaningless. So, okay, the guy was rude to me. What big deal? In the scheme of all of life, big deal. Who cares? So service people or clerks here and there, or a waitress or a waiter, they do some dumb things. Guess what? They're just human, just like you and me. And like Nancy was talking about with her taxes, seeing mistakes. Well, who made the mistakes? She made the mistakes, but so what? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Have compassion for yourself. Have compassion for the other. And then what happens? It allows for joy and balance. You get to engage the mystery this way, and you experience joy and balance. Now, who doesn't want that? If you don't want that, raise your hand. Oh, you don't want joy and balance? Who are you kidding? Little Miss Joy and Balance herself. Yeah, Nancy Joy, right? Doesn't want that, So engaging the mystery is not only delightful and fun, but it makes a difference for you in how you experience yourself and how you experience life, and therefore how you express spirit or the mystery into life, which makes a difference in the people around you and the circumstances you're dealing with. So when you can trust the universe and know it's on your side, no matter what you think or feel, or no matter what it looks like in the moment, and when you can trust your inner guidance and live from your soul, and when you can lead with your heart and forgive and have compassion, you will experience tons more joy and more balance in your life. And from there, you can tackle whatever you want to tackle, whatever it is in life that you want to handle. If you want to cure something, or if you want to get a patent for something, or if you want to write a song, a #1 hit, if that's your thing, you can do it. And that's the fertile ground from which those creations can come. And they come more easily when you are engaging the mystery. And I don't know, the mystery is just that. It's a mystery. How great. How wonderful that it's a mystery. We don't have all the answers. I love that. I don't know. I don't want all the answers. Do I want some? Oh, sure. But I don't want to know all of them. I want that mystery and that magic. There's a scene in the Harry Potter movie. I'm a Harry Potter nut. And there's one movie where this whole family's going to a match, a Quidditch match, which is like a sports thing. And there's like 12 people. And they go up to this little tent. A little tent. And they all go in one after the other. And Harry's like, He's the last one, and he looks around like, and you're left thinking, how they all fit in there? And he steps inside, and it's like the Taj Mahal inside. It's huge. And he says, oh, I just love magic. Me too. That's how I feel about it. The mystery's like that. It looks one way, but it really is another. So I invite you to engage the mystery and invite you to engage it with all your heart. Trust this universe. It is really glorious. Trust your inner guidance and lead with your heart, and you will be one happy person with a lot of happy people around you. So now let's just take a nice big breath. Let that in and let us pray. Dear mystery, dear spirit, thank you. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this awareness. We are blessed and happy to know this, to live this, to love this. We are here on behalf of you to express all that you are and the wonder and the beauty that you are into life. Thank you for letting us be aware of what it takes to do that, both for ourselves and for others. Oh, happy day. What a beautiful, beautiful day this is. What a beautiful moment this is to be connected and connected to you and aware that we're connected. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Amen. Blessed be, and so it is.